everybody. Welcome back to another Rory pop-up. Yes, I'm popping up. Yes, I am, because like I said, we're going to do quite a few little pop-ups. I'm going to try to get back on schedule tomorrow, but this has been a holiday weekend, so I said I was going to do all the pop-ups. So, listen, we have two stories that we want to chit-chat about. Now, one of them is scandalous. I'm telling you, it seems like Willie is just taking the mask off and stop pretending. I don't know if he's working in conjunction with Channel 5, but what they just aired as a documentary is absolutely treasonous. I'm just saying. And so the squatties are really talking about that. And they're also talking about Willie and Kitty. This article that came out in OK magazine, and it's talking about the affair and how Kate demanded Willie go get marital counseling in order to get their marriage back on track. Yes, I don't know what's going on here, but it seems like it's a lot of people want to get out here and start telling the truth about the Wells and their marriage and their behavior behind the scenes. Because my last little pop-up, I talked about how Jabo was exposing Willie. Now, I hate to call it exposing Willie, because at the end of the day, the squatties already knew who Willie was. We already knew, and anybody who has been paying attention, they also knew. But like I said in that podcast, it's always great to get confirmation. It's always great to get it put on the record. And so, yeah, I don't know what it is about this weekend, but they seem to be coming out with some truth bombs. Now, I don't know what's going on, but I am loving it. I am. So I am going to get started. I'm not going to hold y'all long, but listen, it's going to be entertaining. It is. So I'm going to put this up. And this is a squatty posting a clip from this new documentary. I think it aired Saturday. If I'm wrong, y'all correct me in the comments. If you know, you UK squatties, I know y'all be knowing. So I think it aired Saturday, but I digress. And it is the most weirdest thing I have ever heard, just from the clip. I have never known anything like this, because when Elizabeth II was still on the throne, it was unheard of talking about her death. You know what I'm saying? Let alone having a documentary about it. Now, this particular squatty posted the clip, which I'm going to play right after this. But this particular squatty posted the clip and said, "These people can't wait for Charles to die." I kid you not. This is a clip from Channel 5 documentary playing out the Baton death announcement of Charles. The documentary is titled William When He Becomes King. I don't remember such programs about Charles when the Queen was alive. That's exactly what I just said. This is so disrespectful. It really, really is. And it would be unheard of if this was Charles and it was playing out the Queen's death. I can't. All right, y'all. I am going to put up a picture, and then I'm going to play y'all the clip, and then you can get a little sense of what I am talking about. The level of disrespect is unbelievable. All right, I'm going to put the picture up and play the clip.
One day in the future, the nation will be facing the loss of its monarch.
A few moments ago, Buckingham Palace announced the death of His Majesty, King Charles III.
There's no ceremony that takes place on the death of a monarch. There's no coronation needed for a new king or a new queen. The moment the heart stops beating of the reigning monarch, the next in line becomes king.
There's an extraordinary thing about an heir, but
Did y'all hear that? I cannot believe these people. the level of disrespect that they have for Charles. This would have never gone down in the case of Queen Elizabeth II and Charles being the heir to the throne. If something like this aired, then Charles would be receiving nothing but hate. People would not absolutely find this amusing in any way. Now, am I off my skis on this? Because I don't remember anything like this transpiring when the Queen was alive and Charles was the heir to the throne. I just see it as the ultimate of disrespect. Now, this particular squatty reposted what that other squatty said about how people can't wait for Charles to die. This squatty said, "This is now outright treason. Willie has decided to conduct a coup in broad daylight, and the usual enablers are going along with it. Too bad Charles decided to hitch his wagon to this treasonous son." Where's the lie? Where is it? Because William has treated him with nothing but disrespect ever since he got his hand on that Duchy of Cornwall. Ever since he has not had to rely on money when it comes to Charles, William has offered up his butt for Charles to kiss ever since. Y'all know it. Y'all see it every day. He absolutely shows nothing but disrespect and no deference when it comes to Charles, even to the point where y'all know we have covered it in podcasts where Charles started leaking about how he is nothing but disrespectful. And on the other hand, William has leaked to Tom Thumbhead Sykes about how when Kitty had her performative cancer, how they never saw Charles. Because you know the whole storyline, the whole narrative was that Charles and Kitty was going through their cancer together. But Willie and Kitty said, no, 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 no. Y'all remember when they put out that shampoo commercial? I'll call it a shampoo commercial because that's what the horse called it. The horse told Jabbo that they thought that whole thing looked like a shampoo commercial. But I digress. When they put out that shampoo commercial, they also gave an interview to Tom Thumbhead Sykes and said, F everybody. F the press. F Harry and Meghan. They were going to do things a whole different way. And by the way, him and Kitty has no relationship. They're not leaning on one another. If any leaning is being done, it's them leaning on the Middletons. Y'all remember that? Yes. They came out with that and said Charles do not have a relationship with his grandchildren that are right there in the same country. So yeah, this is not a surprise to me, not at all, but I do see where it is a surprise to a lot of people, not to squatties, but people who are non-squatties. They really cannot believe that this was allowed to be aired, but it was aired. And let me tell you, a lot of people believe that William is behind it. Now, like I said, these are not squatties, these are non-squatties, and they are really giving William the side eye, which we as squatties have been giving William the side eye forever. Forever. We have been, the minute that we found out that he was, well, I'll put it this way, allegedly, he was involved in trying to stop Harry and Meghan's wedding. And confirmation of that came in the form of Jason Knopf being named on Australian television by Thomas Markle Sr. as one of the people playing a part in trying to stop Harry and Meghan's wedding. And we all know who Jason Knopf is loyal to. But I digress. That is the reason why squatties have always given Willie, Kitty, Charles, and the horse the side eye, because we all know that they're all snakes, all vipers, all scorpions, ready to sting, sting, sting if it in any way would be to their advantage. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty posted that same post from the other squatty about all these people waiting for Charles to die. This squatty said, just like William, Charles is a disgusting human being, but to do this kind of show, literally anticipating the death of an elderly man who is sick with cancer, is really of bad taste. And I am sure they had the green light from Kensington Palace. William and Kate are awful people. Well, we all know that to be true. It's been proven time and time again. Now, when you would put out a lie that somebody made you cry to, try to discredit them using an old racist trope like the angry black woman, using that to try to show in some way that you have been a victim. But in actuality, you hadn't been a victim. You are just jealous and envious of this black woman who is extraordinary and outpaced you on every level. And you knew you couldn't beat her fairly. You could not compete where you couldn't compare. So you decided to play dirty. Yes, put out lies, plant stories. Yes, this is the plan that you came up with. You and Willie and that island of misfit toys y'all call a PR team over there at Kensington Palace. Yes, y'all decided that y'all was going to discredit this woman, not because she had done anything to you, not that she had, she was deserving of it, all because you were jealous, you were envious, and you didn't want her to shine. Now, I agree with this squatty. They are awful people, Willie and Kitty, but they're also very evil. They are very intentional in what they're doing, and they feel no guilt, none whatsoever, because it's all about them, not about anybody else. They want to destroy Harry and Meghan for no other reason, like I said earlier. It's just because of Harry and Meghan's achievements and their shine. They're jealous. They're envious. So yeah, they're awful, but they're evil. And this squatty commenting on this program that aired on Channel 5 said this. This is beyond disturbing. It is creepy and distasteful. It is not only Willie who is rushing Charles to the grave. The UK media cannot contain its excitement. But I got a feeling that they are going to be really disappointed. They think because it's not working with Charles and the horse that it somehow is going to work with Willie and Kitty. But it is going to be worse. It is going to be worse. And if they don't know that, they will know it, because King and Queen Dumb as a Rock is going to make every mistake in the book. It's going to be an utter disaster. You wait and see. It is going to be a SHIT show. Get your popcorn, get your wine, and just sit back and get ready to be entertained when these two ascend to the throne. This squatty goes on to say they know that the demagogue King Willie will ramp up the demagoguery, and they cannot wait. Charles is bad, but Willie is way worse. Where's the lie? Where is it? I'm looking for it. Because if you've been paying attention, you know this to be true. Willie is so lazy. He is going to screw everything up. He is dumb as a rock. I just don't call him future king dumb as a rock for no reason. He has proven himself to be so dumb. And he married a woman who is dumber than him. I mean, I wouldn't even think that would be possible, but he did it. And y'all think that these are two people who are going to be successful in their reign? Yeah, okay. But we all know that the British media is not that bright either. So it is going to be delicious. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I want to switch gears and I want to talk about this story that was in OK Magazine. And the title of the story is Prince William and Kate Middleton's affair scandal royal biographer claims devastated princess barred contract with close friend, ordered heir to the throne into counseling to save their marriage. Now, this is a very, very interesting story. Now, they're saying that it was a rumor, and we all know the rumor, and we all know who they're talking about. They're talking about Rose Hanbury. So, this is something that is not surprising to us, but it is coming from Andrew Lowry. And if you know that name, you know he is a known liar. This is the same person who said that Harry punched Andrew. And Harry came out and called him a liar and sent out a lawyer letter, a cease and desist, and he had to backpedal and booty pop and retract that lie that he had told on Harry. So he is a liar. He is a known liar. But I look at it like this. This reigns true to me. And I'll say this. A blind squirrel will find a nut every now and then. And a liar will tell the truth every now and then. So he is a liar, but it doesn't mean that he's not telling the truth about this. We all have known about this whole Rose Hanbury situation, but we thought that it had, quieted down and someone else had taken her place. And we all know who that person is. But I digress. So this particular person is saying, Andrew Lowry, is saying that they barred the friend, got rid of the whole friendship between Rose and her husband. And this is a little sidebar. The word on the curb is that Rose's husband is gay and he lives with a man in another country. He only comes back and forth there every now and then. And Rose is his beard. Now, like I said, that's the word on the curb. That's the gossip. I don't know if that's true or not, but that is what is being said by that situation. And that Rose and William had a fling. Now, I don't know if they're saying that the fling is going on, but it seems like in this particular article, they're saying that Kate found out about it, nipped it in the bud, and told William he had to go to marriage counseling. Now, I have never heard of anybody going to marriage counseling by themselves. That's called therapy. Marriage counseling is when two people go. So it makes no sense to me. But like I said, take it with a grain of salt. We are talking about Andrew Lowry. He is prone to lie. But like I said, a blind squirrel can find a nut every now and then. So let's go on. Now, this particular squatty that posted this article said this. Kate has gone so far to take her ring off. They continued. It's all anyone can talk about, and it has palace insiders openly pondering the unthinkable, that the marriage may be over. Now, we all know that Kate did take that ring off now. We know that she took that big sapphire off for a while. So I don't know if it was about that, but that did happen. And it says insider also mentioned that her disappearance was somehow connected to Hanbury. Now, I don't know if I believe that or not. My belief is that it's connected to something that happened December the 28th, 2023. Now, that's my belief. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But then this squatty goes on to say, by 2028, we will learn the full story of why Kate had a brief disappearing act, and it won't have anything to do with the precancerous cells. Camilla tried to blow the whistle on the hospital story just by showing up every day and made sure she was photographed going to visit her husband morning and evening, well as the other patient had no single visitor. Yes, and everyone found that to be very strange. I don't know what went on there, but that right there was strange. And we called it out in real time. And Willie showed up one time, stayed less than 30 minutes, and had all his lady boys in tow. Y'all remember that? I mean, had all his lady boys with him. It was the strangest, weirdest thing. And nobody saw her when she left the hospital. It was strange. I hope it does come out. I believe if it comes out, Camilla is going to leak it. Camilla knows what's going on, and boy, is Camilla a snake. And in this case, it might work to our advantage. Her being a snake might absolutely solve this mystery. And we might absolutely find out what went on. I would love it. I would love it. And I'm going to put this one up because this squatty doesn't believe that Kate ordered Willie to do anything, because we all know Kate is just happy to be there. This squatty said, ordered the heir to the throne counseling to save their marriage. Kate ordering Willie to do anything. I don't think she's even allowed to look at the man in the eyes. While it's surprising they are talking about William and Kate's dead marriage at all, they're still lying for them. Where is the lie? Where is it? They do nothing but lie and pretend like this dead marriage is alive. Look at that lie they just told while he was taking a drink or something. Now, I'm not saying he was taking alcohol. Now, I'm just not putting that out there. But I can say whatever he was drinking it out of a flask. And we all know what comes, what people put in a flask. So I digress. They tried to make a story out of that and said he was kissing her hand. And Squatters was saying, well, if he was kissing her hand looked like a flask. Yeah. So they do all that they can to try to prop up this marriage that they know is dead on arrival. DOA all day. And this squatty is pretty much saying that. And we see it every day. Them trying to pretend like they having an intimate moment or they're looking at each other lovingly. And we be like, where? Where is that happening? I mean, no indications of any of that happening. They see things that just not there, or they want to gaslight people into believing that this couple actually like each other and love each other. But when they're together, none of that comes across as genuine. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this one up. This squatty reposted what another squatty had said earlier and said this. Every time a new rumor comes out about Harry and Meghan divorcing, switch the names with Willie and Kitty, and you're probably closer to the truth with that headline. Where is the lie? Where is it? If any couple looks like they're divorcing or looks like they're unhappy, it's definitely not Harry and Meghan. It is more so Willie and Kitty. But they don't want that so bad. They hate to see Harry and Meghan happy because they have written so many stories about Harry and Meghan divorcing. So many made up stories. Y'all remember they actually did a whole series of nothing but stories and panels about how Harry and Meghan was divorcing, to the point where Nacho came out and said BS on it because it was so stupid, but they want it so bad. They do, because it feeds into their narrative. They want Harry to come back. They want him to be humble. They want him to be a failure. They want him to come back with his tail between his legs and his marriage in shambles. So Willie and Charles can put their foot back on his neck and control him and control his shine and use him to save that monarchy over there. That's the narrative that they want. And they know that that will never come to be if he stays married to Meghan. And that's the reason why they're always smearing, always attacking Meghan, trying to get her to divorce her husband. And I love this part. every time they do that, Harry holds on to Meghan tighter and Meghan holds on to Harry tighter. I just love it. Everything that they do only makes them love each other more. And all I can say is I love it for those folks across the pond. I really do. And I'm going to put this up, and this particular squatty put up some of the headlines. And as you can see, that top headline says Harry and William's feud can only end with the death or divorce, royal expert claims. Can you believe that? They are so intimidated by Meghan. They really feel that Harry is no way he can have a successful marriage with a woman like Meghan in order for William to have a relationship with him, for them to end the feud. He has to either divorce his wife or something has to happen to her. And you're trying to tell me that these people did not do anything to Diana? If that's what you're trying to tell me, I have a bridge in California over in San Francisco. It's called the Golden Gate Bridge and it's golden. It's made of gold. If you want to buy it, I'll sell it to you because you are gullible. If you think that these people are not that treacherous, they absolutely are. But I digress. This particular squatty posting these articles said this: for years they have wished death and divorce on the Sussexes so Harry would crawl back to the toxic Isle as a slave and scapegoat. But karma, in all of her fury and wisdom, hit the other ones instead. Yes, yes, yes. They have not had a happy day since Harry and Meghan left that small island nation over there. They have not. And I love Karma because Karma never missed. She never missed. And she definitely did not miss Willie and Kitty. Look at them. They are aging like a banana in the Sahara Desert. Yes, they are not holding up well at all. But look at Harry and Meghan. They are aging backwards. And yes, Karma has her red bottom pump planted firmly up Willie and Kitty's butt. Yes, she does. And I love it for them. I do. And the squatty goes on to say, they shall know no peace until they leave Harry and Meghan alone. Eye of newt and toe of frog. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. This squatty is just too much. But listen, I'm telling you, I don't know if none of those cantations work. But I do know this. Until they do right by Harry and Meghan, everything that they touch will fail. I promise you that. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.